Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on the show is a Raiders vent session after a 41-21 embarrassing loss. I got to get everything off of my chest, but after an embarrassing game like that, I know Raider Nation also has a lot to say. So Pete Carroll, I hope that you show this video to your players. I hope you show it to your coaching staff, because at this point, if you don't make any changes, you don't care about winning, and you don't believe in commitment to excellence. Let's go to D-Money here. Mitch, tell them I'm with you. Raider Nation, stand up. We want wins. Fire Brandon Carroll. Brandon Carroll has no business being the offensive coach anymore. Offensive line coach. He's got no business being the run game coordinator. Give Joe Philbin the keys to the car. Fix the offensive line. Raider Nation coaches, I want y'all to start taking notes, because if you need me to come to the facility to educate y'all on what this team is good and not good at, I'd be happy to do it. You have my phone number, Spy Tech. It's open. I hope that you text me, because if I got to watch this game again, you're going to lose fans left and right, because at what point is it just pathetic? Pathetic. Grade the Raiders' performance against the Washington Commanders. I don't know if there's a Z option on here, but this is a big old fat F. It's a big old fat Z, and if you don't know what a ZJ is, it's probably because you can't afford it. Grade the Raiders' performance against Washington. I hope that this gets a million Fs down below. I hope that this video sets the record for most comments on a video in YouTube history for F. F, for this team is a fucking joke. Let's go to June. Mitch, what is firing Brennan doing for us anyway? I think it lights a fire underneath somebody's butt, because right now there's a word that's going to be circulated. It's called nepotism. Nepo. And you can't give me an argument of why Brandon Carroll would keep his job, because he's just clearly so bad at it. And, you know, you got your second best offensive lineman on your team in JPJ. He's better than Dylan Parham. He's better than Jordan Meredith. He's better than DJ Glaze. He's better than Alex Kappa. And your second best offensive lineman isn't in the game. I'm starting to wonder, is it something against JPJ? Does the Raiders coaching staff have some against Jackson Powers Johnson? Is there something that happened with the Christian Wilkins scandal that we don't know about? And I hate even bringing it up, but for the Raiders coaching staff to not make any changes today, that's what's in my mind. Like, I'm at that point of dysfunctional, right, where, you know, we're talking conspiracy theories at this point. Like, there has to be something that we don't know around Jackson Powers Johnson because of how bad this coaching staff is doing their decision-makings on this offensive line. Alex Gonzalez, is there a problem with JPJ? Fix it. Trade him or fucking start him. Do something. Shield over player. So much hope this year. I feel like we might lose a lot of fans. Enough is enough. Mark, if you care about money in your pocket, I guarantee you this. If I was a Raiders fan, I would demand for Brandon Carroll's job. And I'll tell you this. I don't blame fans for not going to that game in Chicago next week. I guarantee it, Mark. Guarantee you, Mark. There's going to be more Bears fans than Raiders fans next week. Why? Because if I'm a Raider fan, I'm not spending thousands of dollars to watch this shit product. I'm also not going to spend thousands of dollars to watch a team that clearly doesn't give a shit. And if you're telling me, if these coaches and these players want to tell me they give a shit, well, then how do you watch that offensive line for 4 quarters and actually do nothing about it? You know, to do nothing is the craziest thing that I saw today. That's the craziest thing that I saw today. Ruthless Raider, what's going on, man? I'm starting to think they're throwing this season, won't pay Myers. What my thought process is, are Pete Carroll and John Spytek trying to get rid of players that aren't their guys? I don't know, because I don't know how Jacoby Myers does everything right this entire offseason, and you decide not to reward him. Then you got JPJ, who's just clearly your second best offensive lineman, and you don't even play him today. And then, you know, there was at times where Jeanty got it going a little bit, but the Zamir White experiment sucks. Putting Laube in certain situations, I didn't mind. I didn't mind it. Oh, man. Also, a huge injury just happened here to the Chargers running back Najee Harris. It looks like he just popped his Achilles, which I hate to see injuries. It sucks, man. Let's go to Foots89. Mitch, you and the Chat Sports team are awesome. Been a Raider fan since the 80s. Last game I spent $1,000 for tickets to see this in person, this type of performance. And again, it's not just the tickets, right? Like, I don't know how often people go to Vegas by themselves. You got to get a hotel, food, drink prices, everything's crazy. Like, when I first went to Vegas, I remember my first trip, round trip, okay, everything included, I spent $250. My flight was under 70. My food, again, I was eating like a lot less at the time. And then also my hotel was less than $100 a night. Like, I just, if this is the product that we're going to put on the field, I think we just really got to think about commitment to excellence and what does it mean? If I'm Pete Carroll, I'm walking up to that whiteboard that apparently he absolutely destroyed the other day at a meeting, and I'm putting commitment to excellence on the board. And I'm going to ask the players to stand up. And it's going to be, do you have commitment to excellence? Do you want to make this work? Stand up. Every player who doesn't stand up, they can leave. And hopefully you get every single guy on that roster to stand up. And I would go up to each and every single one of them. I would poke him in the chest, and I would challenge him as a man. Because with all due respect, Trey Tucker, he had a good game. This is in no way driven towards Trey Tucker. And you know what? I'll watch the tape, and there's going to be other players that I bet you I say the same thing, right? Thomas Booker running down Marcus Mariota 23 yards down the field, punching that ball out. But I'm gonna challenge some players' manhood because today the Commanders, they took it from you. Your manhood is gone. You might as well sit to pee. You might as well cross your legs when you're taking a dump. I don't know what you want to say. But to me, the Raiders players lost their manhood today because the Commanders, they ran down your throat. And you knew they were going to do it. And you couldn't do anything about it. Your offense, you couldn't stop. They were bringing 4. You had 5 offensive linemen against 4. And you couldn't do anything about it. Not only you couldn't do anything about it, you didn't try to correct it. And I think that's probably the hardest part to realize here is we got a coaching staff that, again, either doesn't care or doesn't know its players. And I don't know which one's worse. If you guys feel the exact same way that I do, and if you just feel sick to your stomach, I want you to hit that subscribe button. But I mean this when I say this. You're going to see me all week, Instagram, Twitter. If the Raiders post something, I'm going to say fire Brennan Carroll and start JPJ at center. If you see me say that, reply. Say the same thing. If you see me say that, hit the like on the tweet. Hit the retweet button. We got to get this word out there more and more and more. We got the Raiders to fire Josh McDaniels at 1 a.m. If it was up to me, I'm leaving Brennan Carroll's Nepo ass in Washington, and I'm waving goodbye to him. Quite frankly, I'd probably skip saying goodbye to him. Let's go to hardcore card collecting. You've been a Raider fan for what, 5-6 years? I've been dealing with this for over 20 years and most of my life. Now you finally understand. I am a new Raiders fan. Make no doubt about it. But I do feel like this is a weird, I get it. You've been a fan for longer. You've been dealing it for longer. I get it. Totally get it. I'll also say this, though. There's not a person on the planet that revolves their life around the Raiders more than me. I make more videos than anybody on the planet. I talk about the Raiders more than anybody on the planet. And I don't think that this should turn into you're a bigger Raider fan than me, because I'm never going to turn it into I'm a bigger Raider fan than you. Frustration is frustration, right? Like you're basically bragging right now that you've been in a 20-year bad relationship. My relationship right now with the Raiders is also bad. And I think what Raider fans got to do a better job of is we got to unite together, okay? And you finish it off with Raider Nation for life. I've also have understood this for a long time. Like, yeah, I am a new Raider fan, but I also been following the NFL for a long time. Like, I've been covering the NFL for a long time. Like, there's a reason why I also picked Raider Nation, right? Like, it's people were like, oh, like it was given to you. I picked Raider Nation. I picked the Raiders because I felt that connection with that fan base. But at the same time, we got to do a better job of uniting. And I hope that this week, if there's one thing that I'm praying for, the outcome of this game, Raider Nation unites. And I hope that we all unite together to get Brennan Carroll's ass fired and JPJ at center. And, you know, sometimes there's got to be a fall guy. But to me, change needs to happen. Change needs to happen. Motorcycle, if the coaches and the players had half of the heart as the nation does, you'd figure out how to win. Enough of this. I think right now a big problem with football, and the Raiders especially, is you got a bunch of players that don't want to practice very hard. You got a bunch of guys that don't want to play in the preseason games. And, you know, teams that are good year in and year out, they don't have a lot of turnover. And they can probably afford to do the lighter practices, the lighter, you know, OTAs, the lighter minicamps. When you're a football team and you've been dog shit for a really long time and you got a whole bunch of new faces, sometimes you got to actually, like, you know, bring that energy. And I'm sorry, you're getting paid millions of dollars. If practices are hard, boo frickin' who, right? Like, my work schedule's difficult. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, really difficult work schedules, right? Our military, they give up, men and women give up their lives, families give up their opportunity to spend time so these people have the ability to make millions upon millions of dollars for that effort. I mean, honestly, if I was Pete Carroll, I would give this Raiders team to, I don't know, like a sergeant staff. Put them in the military. Toughen them up a little bit because I've seen some soft Raiders teams in my day. This is a soft Raiders team. Like, this is a Antonio Pierce, Josh McDaniels type of soft right now. And that scares the absolute hell out of me. I do want to give a shout out, though, to our sponsor here, Prize Picks. Easy, exciting daily fantasy sports made easy. And I know some of y'all are probably like, Mitch, oh, man, a lot here with Prize Picks. But you know what? You want to win money? Next week, I'm going less on all things Raiders, and I'm going more on everything against the Raiders, because why the heck not? Download the app today. Use code CLNS. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Now, Prize Picks also invented the flex play, which means you can cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Now, for me today, even though my lineup did not hit, I still had fun. Like, in all honesty, like, I still had fun watching Ashton Jeanty runs, watching the Jacoby Myers catch. And, today, Jeanty had 17 carries. If you went more, could have gone more. Jacoby, 21.5, longest reception. Took the more. Hit it right away, that 45-yard catch, right? And, like, sometimes if I encourage people to do Prize Picks, especially when your team's kind of the way that the Raiders look right now, because to me, I'm going to watch every Raiders game. There's no way that they're going to be so bad where I'm not going to watch it. And I feel like Raider Nation is the same way, where you're going to watch the game. And if you don't think that the Raiders are good enough to win, you might as well have something to root for. And that's why I love Prize Picks. It gives me something to root for. Gives me something to root for. Let's go to Alex. What up, man? Offensive line was embarrassing. There's no way they get away with this, right? I mean, there's no way they ignore this, right? I'm livid. I know we showed this one earlier on the live show. I wanted to show it up here again. But, Alex, I think you speak on behalf of all of Raider Nation. I think you speak half of, quite frankly, I think a lot of people that see these athletes get paid the amount of money that they get paid. And, I mean, I think it's funny. And, again, I know I'm not athletically gifted enough to play in the NFL. But what I saw today, there's not a single player on that team that I think has more heart than I do. Max obviously gives 110%. And, again, there's a lot of guys that are going out there, they're busting their hump. But one of the problems that you got to have is you got guys that literally, again, like Alex here, sacrificing the ultimate thing. And then you got guys who can just walk out onto the field, skipping, and get paid millions of dollars, because that's what I saw tonight. I saw a bunch of Raiders players skipping out on the field. Alex, 289, 3 touchdowns, 5 sacks. I don't want to hear Smith is the problem. I mean, statistically, this is Geno's best game. Geno is still better, though, in my personal opinion, in week 1. I think it's just also hard to evaluate. Like, the offensive line is so bad that it's hard to evaluate Ashton Jeanty. It's hard to evaluate Geno Smith. It's hard to evaluate this offense in general. I will give Geno credit for staying tough, because you get hit that many times over and over and over and over again. I mean, it's difficult, right? Like, it's difficult. I did just see somebody down below ask in the comment section what's going on with Mayer. Mayer dealt with a concussion. He had to leave the game early. He will be in concussion protocol. I have no idea whether he is going to be able to play next week. I do not know. But obviously, it's bad news, because the Raiders are a much better football team. In 12 personnel, you got to see Jack Besh get some extra work today. But, to me, I'm almost wondering, do we just have to put an extra tight end out there to help these guys block and help these guys chip? I even said this on live, and it makes me want to blow my head off. Do we put 6 offensive linemen out there? I don't know what else to do. You know what I mean? Do we put an extra offensive lineman out there? I don't know, because what you're doing right now clearly isn't working. So I want to know from all y'all down below, what's your biggest takeaway from Raiders versus Commanders? One takeaway. And it can be a statement. It can be a few statements. It could be a paragraph. I want to know what your biggest takeaway from the Raiders versus Commanders is. My biggest takeaway is this offensive line is a joke. That's my biggest takeaway. My biggest takeaway is that this offensive line is a joke and our coaching staff doesn't know the offensive line. That's my biggest takeaway. Steven, we wake up every Sunday ready to win, perform like this garbage. This is the most toxic relationship I've ever been in, and I've had my fair share of toxic relationships. Maybe it's a you problem, Steven. No, I hear you, dude, and I'm not gonna. I haven't been in many toxic relationships, quite frankly. I don't really think I've been in any toxic relationships. Yeah, I know Alex, man. Alex is kicking my ass. No, I'm just kidding. The Raiders, I don't know. I see what Raider Nation does week in and week out, and there's a reason why the Raiders Report is the #1 show at Chat Sports. There's a reason why the Raiders Report is one of the most successful shows in all the United States on YouTube. Kane, we still got to show up for each other, man. Win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till we die. And it's big facts, right? Like, I'm going to be here tomorrow. My day tomorrow is a 16-hour day, which is going to be interesting after a Raiders loss. But I do it because of the nation, because I want y'all to know that I'm always going to ride with y'all like that. You know, you might not agree with everything that I say. I don't want you to. But I also want people to know that nobody's going to outwork me. Nobody's going to put in commitment to excellence more than I do. And if you want to hang out tomorrow, I'm going to be live tomorrow for probably, 8-ish to 9-ish hours. It'll be a 16-hour day for me. I'll be back again on Tuesday. And guess what? Thursday nights, they might be the most fun nights all year long because we're just going to let our hair down a little bit and we're going to keep on moving, man. Let's go to Big Mother Effing Bill. I think Raider Nation should boycott the next home game. Send a message to Mark. Something needs to change. Again, I'm not going to disagree with this statement. And I only say that because do I want Raider fans to go to the game? Yes, of course I do. But also at the same time, I wouldn't. I wouldn't spend my hard-earned money going to a Raiders game. Couldn't do it. I got you. We got a few more here. What's up, Wild One? I can't wait to see you, brother. Looking forward to Dallas. So for those of you that do not know, Wild One is coming here October 19th. He's going to be here for Raiders-Chiefs Week 7. So watch out for Rashee Rice, Wild One. I said when our coach was hired, we had issues. I said Geno wouldn't get the job done, and Jeanty wasn't the right pick. I hear what you're saying, but I also don't think that what you're saying makes sense. Like, Geno wouldn't get the job done. I mean, what do you want Geno to do? He's 289, 3 touchdowns. And again, some of those are empty stats, but like for you to say, I don't know, Geno wouldn't get it done, I don't understand that logic because that doesn't make any sense to me. And then Jeanty wasn't the right pick. Like, I still think Jeanty is a good player. And at some point, like, again, you can see Jeanty is a good player. The argument that I will agree with here with you is I wanted Armin Membu, somebody who looks like an all-pro level right tackle. And I think if we would have had Armin Membu, this team would be 2-1. I think we're 2-1 with Armin Membu at right tackle. And I'm not saying that Armin Membu is a better player than Jeanty. You can't draft a running back and not do anything to your offensive line because this is the product that you get, man. It sucks. Ryan, last one. Mitch, your commentary was the only reason to watch this miserable performance, which even you saying that blows my mind because I feel like when the Raiders lose, I hate listening to myself because I don't know. I sound whiny. I sound nasally. I just sound like Lois Griffin. I always mute the game on TV to put on the Raiders Sport YouTube when I watch. You're a real one. Again, dude, like to me, when I get messages like this, they mean a lot to me. I got a message today, huge shout, not today, but I got a message today from Nathaniel Q. It was his birthday, 13-year-old, wrote Chugs and I. And I got a message up here from Brandon Jasper. I got my bullet here from Jeremy Cole. I got my Taino Raider belt. Like I have my John Fallon sign, Ashton Jeanty helmet. I have you guys close to me every single day, and you guys are the reason why we're powering through here as often as what we're powering through here. So from the bottom of my heart, y'all, I appreciate you. If you don't know our live schedule this week, here is what it looks like. I'm going to be live tomorrow on the Raiders Report, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you guys if you need a little bit more time to let it digest and vent, be ready for tomorrow because I'm going to be bringing it again tomorrow. Overreaction Monday is going to be the hottest and spiciest overreaction Monday that I've done since probably Josh McDaniels was a head coach. I will then be live tomorrow for Monday Night Football, which I'm going to be honest, after that game, I feel like my mind has just been totally wiped clean. Monday Night Football this week is, wow, Lions at Baltimore. That's a hell of a football game. At least we'll get to watch some good football tomorrow. And then Tuesday, 4 p.m., Thursday, also 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure those noties are turned on.